This is Larry Beecham, and I want to congratulate you on taking this step to start working with us. We couldn't be more excited to have you on our team, and on behalf of everyone here, our staff, our support people, all of our workers, want to congratulate you and welcome you to the family. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover with you the specific details of what you need to do to complete your very first step, step one in the process. So you have already watched the preliminary video that I narrated, and now we're here on this page. The button that's beneath the video is what you're going to want to click on next once you watch this video. So please watch this at least once all the way through before you do anything as it relates to setup, and then come back and go ahead with the process. Alright, so here we go. So now that you've started the process, you're going to want to click here where it says click here to complete step one. Once you do that, it's going to bring you to our website. This is where you're going to need to set up your actual account for two things that are going to need to be accomplished. First of all is meeting the offer requirement. You might recall in the initial video I mentioned that every worker has to complete at least one offer in order to be eligible for compensation. I'll also remind you that you do not have to spend any money in order to meet the requirement. You simply have to take a trial offer. Now, we do have a couple that are free. We have a couple that are $1. We can't tell you which offer to take, but what we can tell you is that it's your choice which one you elect to take to meet the requirement. I also want you to know that whichever offer you select, you want to make sure that you keep it for at least 80% of the trial period. I'm going to give an example of that once we get to that point, but take note, you want to keep it for at least 80% of the trial period. So in other words, if the trial is 10 days, you want to keep it for no less than 8 days before you make your final decision as to whether or not you want to either keep it and purchase it or cancel it without obligation or without penalty of being charged anything. Hopefully that's very, very clear. So let's go ahead and get you signed up on your first account. So when you arrive on this website here, what you want to do is scroll down until you see where it says step 2. Now, at the very top here, we're in step 1 where it says choose your free gift. Gift is equal to pay, so don't let that confuse you. It defaults to PayPal $20. Now, if you don't have a PayPal account, you're not required to do it at this moment. You will want to do that, and we'll cover that in another video. For now, simply leave it defaulted to the $20 PayPal one referral option. What you now want to do is go down to step 2. Now, you probably came through someone's website that's a worker just like you, and if that's correct, you will see here in step 2 it says you are being referred by a user, and there should be a number there. It won't be the number you're seeing now, but it will be someone's number. So make sure that you see a number there. So if you see that, great. Where it says new user or existing user, obviously you're new. Leave it defaulted to new user. And so now let's go ahead and get started with the setup. So what you want to do is plug in the email that you are your most dominant email address. Some of us have multiple email accounts. You want to use the one that you want us to communicate with you, especially if it has something to do with your pay. So I'm going to just basically do a dummy account here just to kind of explain everything to you. So plug in your email, then you simply hit next step. Now once you do that, it'll bring you to our profile screen. Now from top to bottom, all of the information has to be accurate, and by the way, we only allow one account per household per IP address. So once you actually get yourself set up, you can't sign up your husband or wife, you can't sign up one of your children or anyone else living in your household. Alright, the system will kick that out, and you don't want that. So make sure one account per household, and make sure you use all your accurate information here because it will be verified. So let's walk through this process and fill this whole thing out. Now, we'll tell you that down here where it says password, you're creating a new password, so you don't currently have a password. So just make up a password that you can remember. Alright, now again, under PayPal email, if you are already signed up with PayPal and have an email address, go ahead and plug that in here. But if you don't, you can skip it for now and come back to it later. So we're going to just put in one here real quick. Put in email just for the sake of filling the space. Also the same thing with AlertPay. AlertPay is another online payment option that you can sign up for to receive your paycheck. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and just plug in something here. Alright, and of course down here at the bottom you just want to put in an accurate phone number. Once you complete all that, check the I agree with the terms and conditions box here, and then you simply click on Next Step. Now, our system will process your information, and it'll bring you to this screen that you see here. Now, you see in bright red that it says you have not met the offer requirement. You need 1 credit. All right, so what that means simply is you want to scroll down the page. And by the way, everything between the red message and the offers you can just leave defaulted. You don't need to change anything there. But what you want to do is scroll down to this section here where you see our offers. Okay, you'll need to pick one of these offers in order to meet your offer requirement. Now, once again, we cannot tell you which ones to do. You do the one that you're most likely to keep, not obligated to keep, but most likely to keep. But I will tell you that most people will choose either creditreport.com or Profinity credit score simply because it is totally free, nothing you have to spend. You'll see some of these others are a dollar or whatnot. Or up from there. But anyway, for the sake of demonstration, let me go ahead and choose creditreport.com. That does happen to be our most popular one because, well, most people like a copy of their credit score and they really want to know what their services have to offer, so you can elect to do that one. Now, if you notice by me scrolling over the offer, a little message pops up, and I want to recommend that whichever offer you decide to go with, read the message that comes up when you scroll your mouse so you understand the description and the requirement that needs to be met. So as you'll read, it just says the fastest, most reliable, and secure credit score data available when you enroll. But where it says requirements, it says it says try the 7-day $0 trial. Remember earlier I said 80% of the trial period is what you'll want to keep it for. 80% of 7 is 5.6. So basically 5.5 to 6 days is the minimum amount of time that you'll need to hang on to this so that you meet the lifetime requirement that they ask us as workers to meet so that you can work forever. You'll do this once, you never have to do it again, and you do it when you start like you're doing now. So anyway, let's go forward. We're going to click right on the offer image, and from here it's going to redirect us straight to the offer website, which means you're going to leave our website and head on over to the offer site of the actual company. In this example, we are now at Credit Report. You can see right in the middle of the screen on the orange button, it says click here, it's free. So click here. This will now bring you to the next screen. And you want to go ahead and complete these 3 steps, and then you'll be able to view your score towards the end. Now, I want to also remind you that creditreport.com or any of the offer sites are going to request your credit card information. Now, just as a reminder, remember there's 2 purposes for them doing that. The first purpose is to prevent fraud, prevent fake information from being put in their system, and number 2, to verify your identity as a real person, because once again, anyone coming through our system, they want potential paying customers. They don't want fake people, just signing up on offers and just, basically beating their system. So put in your correct information, your most accurate information, and again, there is no fee, so no worries about being charged anything. As you'll go through the screens, you'll notice that it'll keep reminding you that it is free. Once you get to the end, you're going to see, in this example, your actual credit score. Now, a couple things I want to make sure you remember. Please take note of this. Number 1, there are no obligations to pay for anything, any upsells, anything that they may offer you. You can choose to do it, but it's not required to. So, and I know creditreport.com will give you an offer to merge all 3 credit bureaus together, and I believe there's a fee for it. But you can accept or decline it. It's totally your choice, but just understand you're not required to spend any money. Also, once you get to the end and see your credit score, what's going to happen at that point is creditreport.com will electronically notify our parent site FreeFactor that you met the offer requirement, and it's usually instant that your account will be updated from red to green. I'm going to show you what that will look like here in a second. But if it doesn't happen instantly, don't worry. It doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. Give it at least 24 to 38 hours before you worry. Okay, so anyway, go ahead and start that process. The other thing I want to make sure you do as you complete the offers is make sure that you let every page settle. And what I mean by that is usually when you click on a page, you'll notice a little hourglass or something spinning, and just let it settle before you move on to the next page. Okay, and when you get to the very end, you want to also do that. And the reason for that is that the systems communicate through cookies. So you want to make sure the cookie is set on your computer, and if you click off of a screen or close the screen out too soon, it may impact the notification process, and there's a step to fix that if something happens, but we want to try to prevent that as much as possible on the front end. All right, so once you've completed your creditreport.com or whatever offer you choose, once you've completed it and notified, let me show you what your account will look like once you've met the requirement. Okay, so here we are again on your account. So we're going to assume for one moment that you completed the offer, everything was fine, and you were notified, or our company was notified of that electronically. Here's what that'll look like when you have met the requirement. It'll go from this red to this green. Okay, so that's what will happen. You notice here in the middle it says congratulations, you have met the offer requirement. So that's how you know that you have met the requirement. Now, just because you met the requirement instantly, remember, keep the offer live for 80% of the trial period before you decide to keep or terminate the trial membership, and then you'll always be in the green from here on out. You'll never have to do this again. And that's basically it. So I want you now to go back to our main website, or I'm sorry, on the site that you're on right now. Click on the button and go ahead and walk through this process. If you need to watch this video again, do so to make sure you understand the whole process, and go ahead and follow through. And once you do, come back to the page and begin step 2, and we'll see you on that video.